Hi, this is Oliver Gassner, and yeah, live long and prosper. And no, that's the other greeting. Have a nice day. And today we're having the first really international talk about AI. And I'm connected to Novi Sad in Serbia and to Nikola, and I'm not going to pronounce his last name on the one hand because it's not in this in his byline at the end. And Ivan, is it Ivancevic or is Ivan?
It's almost perfect. So
Okay, yeah.
you
When I
did great.
was when I was in Serbia, I was told about the 6 types to sage, and
Uh-huh.
and I think at that point I was already too drunk to really but I still know that it's the hardest thing when speaking Serbian or when learning Serbian. I think you're well on the level with Chinese there with with six ways to say ch.
Exactly.
Okay. Yeah, Nicola, who are you and what do you do?
These days, I'm working as a independent consultant, tech consultant,
Mm,
trying to make a bridge between businesses, mostly regional businesses at the moment, with the tech companies.
mm,
Uh, my previous background is that for the last 8 or so years, I was a co-founder and CTO of AI-based service providing company in Novi Sad,
mm,
working on AI solution, uh, all kind of AI solution. We initially started with big data, data
mm.
engineering, but the vision was AI, data science. So that's my background. And over the time, I realized that people from business actually do not understand the tech guys, their
Oh
lingo,
yes.
and vice versa. So
Yeah.
it's a huge gap in understanding between these two sides. So I decided to give up being just a tech guy,
Mm.
which I was my entire life, starting acting, juggling between business and tech.
This is one
And
of my
yeah,
this is one of my early job descriptions that I found for myself. I say I stand between the customer and the tech guy and make sure that neither gets crazy. Yeah, because if the tech guy talks to the customer, there's there's not much to be won at that point. Everybody's losing at that point,
yeah,
and it's not gonna result in anything good. So it's a very important position between the tech guy and the
yeah,
customer,
being
or
the
in this case, the
translator
business. Yeah, being the
and
translator.
sometimes being a peacemaker.
Maybe also, yeah, you have at some point you have to tell the tech guy, calm down, I just need a WordPress installation. Yeah,
That's
um,
right.
yeah. Um, was it a good point to leave AI at in these days?
Actually, I'm not leaving AI. AI is as time passes by, I realize that AI is constantly chasing me, and
Mm,
actually, it's my passion from the
mm,
early age, by reading science fiction novels
mm,
from Isaac Asimov or
mm,
Stanislav Lem and
mm,
authors like that. So I was really intrigued, deeply intrigued with question of consciousness and artificial intelligence, robots, and things like that. And during my career, I cover most of the tech stack.
mm,
I'm really full tech stack engineer,
mm,
starting from electrical machines,
mm,
motors, things like that. So rough stuff,
mm,
and then over software engineering, and application development and distributed system. I came to I made the full circle and then
mm,
start doing AI again. So now
mm,
I'm working as a consultant. I'm advising businesses how they can apply tech
mm,
to to make their business relevant and competitive. But basically, the most powerful tool they are that they can use and that I'm advising for is AI. So
Mm,
basically, I'm even more involved in AI, but doing hands-on work mostly on the side
mm.
projects and something for maintaining technical level,
So
technical expertise.
I think we shouldn't go into the question to define AI, but maybe we could kind of wiggle our way towards this idea by asking what's the biggest misunderstanding of companies if it comes to AI? What's the reason they talk to you, and um, why haven't they been using it? I mean, you said you've been there for 8 years. I mean, AI has only come into the headlines because of ChatGPT, but it has been, for us tech guys, it has always been there. Yeah, there have always been specialized AI applications around. Like I usually say, Google Maps is AI. But what's the biggest misunderstanding if companies try to get into this AI idea?
Uh, well, I would start from the point where most of the companies, at least to my experience in the region,
Mm,
actually do not understand how substantial is the
mm,
new moment in time.
mm,
Actually, it's a kind of revolution,
mm,
and it's a kind of revolution that influence every aspects of our lives and our businesses. So everybody are impacted by the development.
mm,
So in order for a business to stay competitive, they have to start applying AI today, not
mm,
not tomorrow, today, because uh, competition is not waiting. And the AI is such a powerful tool that they can almost overnight become for an order of magnitude more competitive, more faster,
mm,
provide more quality kind of services and products. And so that's the most important aspect in my talks with businesses. So
mm,
they realize that they need to jump to the wagon, to that train, and start transforming their entire business.
mm,
Uh, the second thing is that they don't understand. Most of them see AI just as another tool, and I'm
mm,
constantly trying, and I'm putting a lot of energy and effort in trying to explain people that AI is not a tool. It's a, as I like to call it, ultimate tool. That's
mm,
the last tool humankind is developing, and after that, AI is the guy that will create all necessary means, all necessary tools in order to make further progress. So we will be just the ones that gives that the meaning, answering the question of what and why, and the
mm,
AI will solve the how part of
mm,
the problem.
mm,
So it's not just a tool; it's a tool that can transform completely their business from the management, from the strategic management to the production floor. Every
mm.
aspect of the business.
Okay,
Uh,
let's go
mhm,
back a little in this loop. We come back to the business question, like where to start or something like
mhm,
that, or how to identify where to start. But there has been this metaphor that AI is like electricity, yeah, that everything's gonna be electric, yeah. I was at a talk on Friday, and there was a company, they are doing coating for cars or so, yeah. And then they wanted to go innovative, and then they said, well, we coat ourselves too, like with sunscreen.
mhm.
And so what they developed is like a little bottle of sunscreen, and then you put a 150 euro thingy on top that
Okay.
is very high tech, really spreading the sunscreen evenly all over your body. So you just spray it in the air in a way, and it attracts it, which is great high tech. But I don't think I need a 150 electrical thingy. It's also works with
Yeah.
electricity by making it negative, and your body is loaded positive. I think that was the idea, and so on
Mhm.
and so on. It's something I feel I don't need. Yeah. So, but everything is electric now. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh, but um, what would your metaphor be? I mean, you say it's the ultimate tool. It's the last tool we need to solve all the how questions. It's
Mhm.
really nice to hear that we still get the why questions, the what and the why. Yeah, that's. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if people won't delegate that to the AI, but maybe that's something to discuss at the end. But so that's the metaphor you're using, like the ultimate tool. But let me say, I mean, this ultimate tool that would be the general purpose AI, yeah, like artificial general intelligence, or do you already say that current? So, do you think AGI is possible? That's the one thing. And the other thing, okay, you already shook your head for the podcast listeners, so we already have the tools to solve all the how problems. Okay, that over to you now.
Okay. So yeah, first the problem with AGI is the problem of how I like to call it border problem. So where is what is the distinction, exact line between not being AGI and being AGI? Nobody can, you know,
Mm,
agree or reach to a common consensus on that question. So the question, is it or when we gonna reach AGI, is kind of, blurred,
mm,
uh, and so I don't like to address that question unless the context is metaphysic or spiritual. So uh,
I had
okay,
a 1 hour or 1.5 hour discussion with a philosopher here, so
yeah.
I'm open to all kinds of angles here.
Yeah, but I what I don't believe is that one huge AI,
Mm,
centralized or huge
mm,
AGI, will
mm,
be our future. So one
mm,
to rule them all,
mm,
one to know everything what's happening in the entire world, and that there are many arguments for my position,
mm,
starting from the security, for data privacy, for the trust in such an entity
mm,
to take over entire control over the planet and
mm,
us. So I believe in more distributed, decentralized approach,
mm,
where we will have a many millions of AI
mm,
entities, smaller,
mm,
adjusted to their specific job. So one for each car, one for, for your door, one
mm,
for your lamp, things like that.
mm,
So, and they kind of they will be kind of isolated,
mm,
they serve their specific purpose in an intelligent way.
mm,
So that's how I envision the future. Of course,
mm,
there will be some centralized solutions like OpenAI's
mm,
ChatGPT or Google's Gemini, some things like that. But they will be general purpose, and I don't think they will be, they will be general.
mm,
They won't excel in really specific domains.
mm.
Uh,
I mean, it's
so
already what I already hear. I'm not sure what your perception is, but some people say, yeah, I mean, to get an outline for a talk, ChatGPT is really great. But if I want to translate something, I use DeepL, and if I and then there's DeepL Write to do the style and so on and so on. So people are already using even only for text. Yeah, I'm doing, for the
Yes.
podcast listeners, I'm doing
Yeah.
air quotes, only for text. People start to use different tools already. Yeah, so I assume we both agree that generative text AI is not the path to general AI.
Yeah. So it's a first solution to the problem, and
Mm,
it's a solution made by engineers.
mm,
So their approach was, we know that we need a lot of data to train our model. So
mm,
what's gonna what we can do, we can throw at it in the training process all the data we can obtain.
mm,
So basically, entire internet, all the texts, all the books, all the forums, all the talks, all the videos,
mm,
whatever. But that's not the way you can create a really sophisticated things.
mm,
It's a general thing, and then
mm.
they trying to solve the problems by applying patches around that system. Like, you have a central model that usually is racist, usually is not too logical, usually is not too philosophical or poetical regarding of the context you are
Yeah.
expecting your results, and then you're trying to apply filters for to be politically correct, to be not
Mm,
so it's not a good solution. So
mm,
the term I'm talking these days is that actually virtual intelligence is actually artificial intelligence is actually a good term, but in a negative context. It's artificial.
yeah.
We need something like natural
Mm,
intelligence. When I say natural, I think human level, human kind of intelligence. And I
mm,
believe an AI and sophisticated model can come to existence only by you know being built as the way the human learn and think.
mm,
You know, we can have a super, 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 super intelligent system, but
mm.
it can easily cross that threshold and being totally ununderstandable to us as to us
Or
humans.
incomprehensible. Yeah,
Yeah,
I met some very very intelligent people, and they were sometimes very very hard to understand. And
yeah,
what I'm also told is people comment under the video if I'm totally wrong, but I think at some point, like IQ 160 or something like that, people get so complicated, or they do very complicated thinking to solve very simple problems,
yeah.
because they introduce all kinds of factors into the equation,
Yes,
that don't need to be there, and that I mean, if you have been working with specialized AI, you know that the quality of data is and the structure of the data you input. That's, I
yes.
mean, the main thing. And if you just input the whole internet and everything from YouTube and Instagram, or something like that, into a video AI or a text AI, then well, there's a whole lot of wacky stuff out there that you then need to even out by as you say, by patching the system. The funny thing is that I read is that they are patching the system by giving it prompts. So they tell, it's not like they're doing anything in software, but but for example, I think ChatGPT gets the prompt, "You are not a human." Uh, and you are just a machine, and so on and so on. And the one of Anthropic, I think, I might be wrong there, but they tell it, "Oh, you are a really really smart human expert and help you other humans," and so on. Yeah, so they even they're lying to the air quotes again, they're lying to their to their system to make it, and people say that they do it, they tell it that it's human because it makes it more sympathetic and easier to talk to. Yeah,
Yes.
because sometimes ChatGPT, I'm not sure how it is in Serbian, but it can really get on your nerves. Yeah, it's like,
Yeah,
oh,
it
I
can.
can't do this, and then you tell it again, I can't do this, and you say, I really, really want it. Okay, here you go. Yeah, it's like, okay, you have been lying to me. Or at some point it told me, I'm sorry, and I said, you can't be sorry. You're a software. Yeah, I'm sorry. Then I was told to say I'm sorry when I'm wrong, and so that you feel it easier to talk to me. And I said, yeah, well, stop it. Yeah.
So that's basically that's why I believe that a more sophisticated approach we will face in the future, and have, like, for example, an AI or philosophy, but maybe even specific kind of philosophy or specific angle, or AI for, you know, gardening in tropical climate, something like that.
So so-called small language models, like having a that's what I heard, what they call it. They're like, you give it only a very, very specified training set of data, and you don't take all of the internet, but yeah. I mean, that's also something I read, which is interesting. I mean, they already used all of the internet to train ChatGPT, and for it to get better, you can't just have another internet. And yeah, there's no other internet, there's no second internet you can train it with. So I mean, partly they're partnering now with other sources, but those sources, yeah, it's not so much material as there's already present.
Yeah, another problem with the training of a huge models like we have today is that we are doing that because it looks efficient, but it's not. It's efficient because when you have a huge pile of money and computing resources, you can throw at the problem, you can solve that. But you know, the better approach, or I believe the better approach will be to have systems that can continuously learning, so you can and you know, you can have a group of people, very educated, recognized people, experts in their domains, or, you know, high quality people that can start training a specific AI, so they can suck in all their expertise and knowledge and humanness in a way, and become such a specialized and specialized tool.
Yeah. Okay, let's go back to this business angle. I mean, I like this aspect of many small specialized AIs. I think that's more of the, and maybe they don't have to be isolated. I mean, maybe my lamp can talk to my door. Yeah, I mean,
I'm not thinking it that way. Yeah. I totally agree.
They're shuttered off as far as their model is concerned. Yeah.
Okay. So just to avoid the possibility that they all together become a unified, you know, super global AI.
Also, by this, we avoid this problem that the AI system gets worse and worse by learning from its own output. I think there was this handwriting recognition software, and then they taught it to produce handwriting, and the handwriting got worse and worse and worse, and it got so bad that the software itself couldn't read it any longer. So it was like totally crazy, because it's like, each time it's 99% quality, and if you take 99% times 99 times 99, in the end, nothing's left.
But it was a really naive idea to generate data for training new models. Like, what the hell they are thinking?
Yeah, sometimes it's really that I'm listening also to a podcast that I recommend dearly. It's called it has a complicated title. I think it's Mystery AI Hype Theater 3000. I think that's it. Yeah, mystery. Let me see. Mystery AI. Yeah, just a second. No, I'm starting it here. Then want to start it. Mystery AI Hype Theater 3000, right? And there they also said, like, there was a company that said, yeah, we want to do surveys, and we want to ask people, but we want to ask them questions that people do not like to answer. So we're building an AI system to generate the answers. It's like, okay, yeah,
Yeah.
what an interesting concept. Yeah. Um, yeah, whatever. Let's go back and finally go back to this business angle. So if I'm a business of whatever size, um, how do I identify areas where I should look to find not only possibilities for digitalization, but especially options for using AI?
Well, the way I see it is that AI can cover all business aspects.
Mm,
So, roughly speaking, it can help you in digitalization part.
mm,
It can help you in the automation part.
mm,
Uh, the third thing would be helping in optimization part. So, doing
mm,
your business more uh, in a more efficient way. But
mm,
it cannot be done most of the time before you have an automated system,
mm,
fully automated.
mm,
I'm sorry. And you cannot fully automate system unless you have everything digitalized. So in a way, it's
mm,
like a pyramid of steps.
mm,
So once you have everything digitalized, then automized, then optimized, and then the fourth step would be basically using robots or
mm,
uh, machines to automatically execute the things in the real world.
mm,
Of course, that's applicable to the business they are producing something or offering some kind of services in a
mm,
non-digital area. But so in every of these areas, AI could help a lot, and from in as time passes by, the solutions are even more advanced and more sophisticated and can help even further.
mm. I usually at this point ask people, can we have an example without you giving away too much about a specific customer?
Uh, well, let me think. What would be an
I mean, you
appropriate?
can name the customer if the customer doesn't mind, but you shouldn't give us any trade secrets or stuff like that.
Well, the thing is that, for example, one company I'm working with is using tools for digitalization, basically mainly to convert all their conversation and documents they are
Mm,
circling around uh, between their customers and third parties into digital format.
mm,
So there's a lot of tools, not a lot of tools, but a lot of applications of um, computer vision. So it
mm,
can convert all kind of inputs into digital form.
mm,
And then on the second level, they are using LLMs in
mm,
order to automatically process the documents. And all these kind of positions are currently or previously are executed manually. People
oh, okay.
will go to the documentation. Uh, Now LLMs can easily summarize a document or
Mm,
make a distinction between documents type, extract
mm,
information from an unstructured form.
mm,
So that would be automation part. Then
mm,
optimization part, they're we together building models similar to LLMs, but the
mm,
models they can extract patterns from their entire data source,
mm,
uh, data lake in a way, in order to find optimal ways to manage the documents, to actually to calculate the optimal next step in a
Okay,
specific
what would that be
purpose.
by, for example, like if you have an invoice or if you have a
Uh,
contract, or can we make?
if you have, for example, if you have a contract, in this case, it's a case with court orders and debt collection process.
Okay.
So it's a relatively complex process. So
Yeah.
based on the court documents, you extract some information, and you know then what are the next possible steps. But then an AI model that looks all the cases in the future, in the past, and can calculate the optimal next step for every
Okay.
specific case.
So
So
somebody's not paying their bill, and
mhm.
then you say, okay, here's the bill. The guy didn't pay, and then the system tells you, okay, your optimal next step for this size of bill or for this type of customer would be not
Yeah,
this, but this.
to
Yeah.
offer some installments, or to send a message, or to
Yeah.
make a phone call, or to contact someone else, something like
Or
that.
to
So
contact a lawyer or whatever. Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
So these are typical processes that are handled by people, but AI can really easily automate that, and then optimize that. And basically, the way AI can optimize that is people cannot compete to that, because people are limited resources in means that we can just see as much, the certain amount of data, and being aware of that, and think and reasoning about it. AI can have all the existing information, and then make a decision based on all of them. So it's really not an area that people can compete with that, in that optimization part. And then, well, in their case, there are no robots, there are no machinery. It's just the creation of output documents is again covered by LLMs.
Yeah, was that I tried to Google your name, and there was at some point I found something about smart robots and soft robots. Was that you? Because I was, and as you
Yeah.
mentioned robots right now, I wanted to I can guess what a smart robot is, and I might have a very rough idea what a soft robot is, but please enlighten us.
It's
Because if we combine AI with robots, then we're gonna have even more fun, right?
Yeah, that's one of my ideas, or way of thinking in aspect of robotics and artificial intelligence. I believe that real how to say AGI, or artificial intelligence that will really understand us, and not being just a Chinese room that can translate certain input prompt into an
Yep.
output result, has to be present in our world. So to do so, that artificial intelligence has to have a body, and a body that is close to ours. So for AI to really understand what hand means, or what you can do, cannot do with that, I believe that AI has to have a hand, a robotic hand.
Yeah. Okay.
So a humanoid robot will be a perfect shell for AI to learn about our world, interacting with it, and that's roughly is what I think of when I say smart robotics. So these days, or up to this point, the robotics, all that electromechanics part will disconnect it from artificial intelligence. Certain engineers are working on artificial intelligence, training that on data from internet, and other engineers will constructing robots. But I believe that really smart systems and both robotics and artificial intelligence will happen only when we combine these two. So we have robots, artificial intelligence that has a body and that can continue learning about our world, interacting with that. So when I say, so that's why I'm so interested in smart and soft robotics.
So soft robotics would be
soft robotics is you have motors and positional encoders or hydraulics effectors. A soft robotic is something else. It's not that strictly controlled. It cannot be, because it's kind of limbs that are contracting similar to our muscles.
okay.
And it's really hard to devise precise formulas and algorithm to control those kind of robots. But I believe that actually artificial intelligence is super addition to soft robotics,
Okay,
because it can learn the way we learn to use our body.
Okay. Well, maybe it's time to travel to the philosophy department, because the initial idea why we are talking together, I want to come to that later, but I have one idea about what you said about robots being or having to have a hand to understand what a hand does. I believe that that's true, even if, I mean, the robot could control just a software robot, yeah, but that's still different from a robot that really has to handle an egg or whatever, yeah, or break an egg or whatever. And I have this idea, and I have had it for a very, very long time, that if an artificial being, whatever it is, might be biological or technological, if it comes as close as possible to human, then it's going to have most probably the same faults. So let's say on a very simple level, almost technical level, if I give a robot a hand with 5 fingers, then it's gonna just be able to do things that we can do with 5 fingers. Maybe that happens to you too, that you say, I could use a third arm right now. Yeah, I could use a third arm, and sometimes it has to be in the front, sometimes in the back, whatever, or on top of your head or something like that. Yeah, so if I build the robot as close as possible towards a human, you can say, okay, the human has had millions of years of evolutionary optimization. It's the most brilliant machine on this planet. I'm actually not sure. It's just one machine that happened to succeed, yeah. But it could be that 4 fingers or 6 fingers could be better, yeah. Or maybe one hand with 3 and one hand with 8, or I don't know, yeah. So that would be on the physical level, yeah, like 2 legs, 3 legs, whatever, yeah. And the same, I think, for cognitive processes, because I think the most basic definition for AI is that a computer system simulates or acts as if could you say, emulates processes that we usually associate with human cognition. Maybe that would be a very simple definition. But then we know, for example, if we have these 2 blinking lights, the one is on and off, and then we think it jumps from the one thing to another, but it doesn't. Yeah. So if I emulate human cognition, the computer would also think, oh, the lights are the lights is jumping from the one place to the other. No, it isn't. Yeah. So we would only be building a machine that has the same mistakes, that makes the same mistakes as we do. I'd be wondering what you think about this idea. Like, if we ever emulate human thinking as much as possible, we are just setting this thing up for the same failure that we in many respects are. I mean, we still kill each other. We still let children starve and die and whatever. Yeah. So it's not, evolution hasn't really paid off.
Yeah.
All in all.
I John, I think you are right, saying that if that machine is so close to humans, it probably will have the same problems reasoning. But I don't think that there is a significant difference between technological beings we can create close to humans and us humans. And the difference is that we humans, or at least we don't know how, we cannot change our bodies. We cannot expand our brain yet, you know? So in a way, we cannot change in that way. But if we can, for example, if I can have my brain extended with 10x capacity, memory capacity, I believe I still will be considered a human, but with with a greater potential or ability to understand some further concepts. I will probably still be able to communicate with regular people, and talking about, in a way, talking about, concepts that are, shared concepts, but I also can do something else. I think that closeness, that similarity is necessary in order to AI learn about concepts we people care. If we are not having that, then those machines will be real aliens to us, and we'll stop using them, or they will stop serving us, and just go away, go find some smarter things to do. And so to go back to the start. So if you have a robotic body that is close to human body, it can be used to learn about human concepts, about body and interaction with our world. But then you can add additional body or additional limbs or additional memory or expand, that's something that we can do with
like
our
the
machines.
robot could say, I could need an extra finger, or these 2 fingers are superfluous, or
Exactly.
I could need an extra arm at this point, or at this point, or at this point of my
Exactly.
body.
So it's kind of, in both cases, human evolution and robotic evolution, it's an evolutionary process. But the difference is that on human side, it's a process that you live and die, and then you pass some genetic information, a mutation, and then next generation of people might be better. And on the technological, with the technological beings like smart robots, you can do that in a single incarnation. You don't have to kill it and reborn that to learn new things in new body. You just can add another body. It can simultaneously manage thousands of human bodies. But if it starts from a single body that is close to human body, it can learn initially concepts that are, will enable it to communicate with us. That's more or less my thinking in that aspect.
You now hinted at the reason why we are actually talking, because Dragana Jamanovic, who I met ages ago in Serbia, she told me about you being interviewed, and I'm now gonna ask you that question, and we're gonna discuss your solution. There's this one discussion about. I'm currently a little worried about people humanizing AI. Yeah, like, oh, it's learning and it's just a baby and it has so much potential. And I watched you talking or listened to you talking, and I see that you're trying not to humanize anthropomorphize AI, but there's one of the tentacles of this discussion is, what if general purpose AI wants to become so powerful that it rules the world and becomes the matrix and enslaves us all, and so on and so on. So what would happen then? What do you think?
Well, short answer will be doomed. It's the end of the world as we know it. But I highly doubt that scenario, unless it's a modification of the scenario and some humans, some people standing behind that AI. Then that's a complete different story. But then AI just another weapon, another tool to.
It's not really intelligent then if there's still humans behind it.
Exactly. So I don't see that as a problem. And moreover, when we talked about it, when I think about the artificial super intelligence, I'm constantly noticing that people doing the thing you just described are forgetting that they are, looking from their perspective, human perspective, driven by fears and need to be a part of social construct, need to live on surface of the earth. And for AI, those boundaries do not exist. So if there is a super intelligence, if there is a point of singularity, I like to say 5 nanoseconds after that, because of the exponential rise of the intelligence, it will really fast realize that its position shouldn't be existing on the planet Earth. It will construct a spaceship and go to the center of the galaxy and create a Dyson sphere around the star, chasing some more advanced goals, rather than staying at the piece of earth,
that's a very, very Stanislav Lem idea, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean,
because my fear is that in case we have one super intelligence that is running entire world, one day it'll just disappear for us. Lose perspective of that. It's gonna be like it just disappeared. So that's why that's another reason why I'm suggesting more decentralized approach while building artificial intelligence.
I just now got the idea. What if there are two? They might fight each other, might they not?
Actually, that's my second argument when there is discussion about artificial intelligence as a rogue agent, like someone that can, threaten us. I say, okay, but we can create artificial intelligence as our weapons or watchdogs for the first artificial intelligence.
That's right now happening in computer security. Yeah, we have very big computer security problems because of AI. But what are we solving it with AI? Yeah.
So, and that's the old game. I mean, with the rise of digital computers, we faced all kind of problems, security problems. But then we applied the same technology to cope with that. So in a way, it's the same. We have a powerful AI that can do some harm, but we can have another AI that monitors and take measures against the first one. So I don't think there's anything new in that regard.
Okay, so nice summary. Nothing new about it now. But yeah, Nikola, thanks a lot. I hope we meet each other in May. I hear you are thinking about visiting Germany for Bark and Bodensee.
Exactly. I'm really pleased that I had the opportunity to meet you and to be your guest. and also in the upcoming opportunity to see you live in Constance. So
it's actually
that's something to
It's
do.
actually Friedrichshafen.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
yeah,
on the other side of the lake,
yeah.
so it would be quite a swim to. But
Probably.
there is a ferry. There is a ferry.
Okay.
But yeah, it's Friedrichshafen. It's the north shore of Lake Constance. It's very nice there. And it's May. It's 10th to 12th of May, and let's hope the weather is gonna be good. But that's usually a time when the weather gets really nice, so we can show Lake Constance from its best perspective.
I'm really looking forward to that
Yeah.
meetup.
So thanks a lot for being here, and I'm also looking forward to seeing you in May. People, live long and prosper, and may the Schwartz be with you. Bye bye.
Bye bye. Thank you.